Sorry, don't mind me. Just trying to make my own connector for a Tesla charger.
See, Tesla recently released the blueprints for its charging connector, which it's now calling the North American Charging Standard.
And it means that pretty much anyone can now try and build this thing. Not that I'm actually trying. This is part of an old washing machine.
But why is Tesla, whose cars dominate the US EV market, now opening up their charger design for rivals to build?
Let me explain. Okay, first you need to understand what different chargers are out there and why.
Back when Tesla released its Roadster, there wasn't really a standard for chargers that combined alternating and direct current charging, so the company began designing one, eventually landing on the design that now features on its US Supercharger network. Around the same time though, the rest of the industry was developing its own charging designs. Now, you don't need to know all of them, as there are quite a few, and drivers have ended up with countless adapters to charge their cars at different types of stations. But what you do need to know is that most automakers in North America converge towards this, the Combined Charging System, or CCS. It's obviously bigger and bulkier than Tesla's design.
Now, Tesla technically allowed other automakers to use the design for its smaller charger, but they could only do so through Tesla's patent pledge, which essentially means that you can use Tesla's patents as long as Tesla can use yours. No automaker did that.
So fast forward to today, and the US is a tale of two chargers. There are less than 10,000 CCS charging stations designed to charge vehicles produced by the vast majority of America's automakers. But there are more than 27,000 Tesla charging stations designed to charge vehicles made by just one company.
So why is Tesla suddenly sharing the design for its charging connector without making automakers sign up to that patent pledge?
Well, according to Tesla's blog post, the move is to accelerate the world's transition to sustainable energy.
But there could be some other reasons why an automaker might want to do this now. One is funding.
Because our infrastructure law provides $7.5 billion. $7.5 billion to build a national network of 500,000 electric vehicle charging stations across America.
Now, to be eligible for that funding, those chargers must be able to charge more than one brand of vehicle. And that's something Tesla chargers currently can't do, unless you get some third-party adapters involved.
But if another automaker were to put a Tesla charging port on their vehicle, hey presto, Tesla could potentially be eligible for funding.
Still, right now, it's just Tesla using this charging port. So why name it the North American Charging Standard, or NACS?
Well, Tesla didn't respond to my request for comment, but it could be something related to this, Apple's Lightning cable. See, over in Europe, this guy is being phased out.
This is the past, and this is the present.
That's because all new smartphone chargers in the EU have to be USB-C from 2024, as the bloc tries to standardize charging cables. And in Europe, CCS2 has pretty much become the standard for all EVs, including Tesla's. Now, back in the US, the Biden administration is trying to do something similar, and create one EV charging cable to rule them all.
But that's kind of hard when, as I pointed out, most US automakers use one charging standard, whereas most vehicles on US roads use another.
By naming its cable the standard and citing how popular their charger is, Tesla seems to be pitching to become the US standard.
But if the US were to adopt CCS as its charging standard, that could create a headache for Tesla, as the company might have to adapt its vehicles and chargers. So is Tesla's North American charging standard likely to become an actual standard? And will it be adopted by any other automaker?
Well, according to automotive analysts, it's unlikely we're going to see major automakers adopt this standard after they've invested money into deploying CCS on their vehicles.
However, one automaker has said that they're going to put Tesla's charging port on their vehicle.
Solar EV startup Aptera. The company actually ran a campaign to get Tesla's charger to be acknowledged as the US standard and said they'll use NACS on their vehicle.
But will that be enough for Tesla to receive federal funding?
Well, the Federal Highways Administration told me they were still finalising the minimum standards and requirements for funding EV chargers. But they said that the final rule would support chargers that are interoperable between different EVs and EV charging companies.
For now at least, there's going to continue to be a mix of charging types on US roads. Unless I can invent a new standard.